Hey, George Scott here. So it's really cold in the UK here at the moment, and it costs way too much to heat the house. So I've come up with a solution to try and heat my house for free. What I'm going to do is cycle on my turbo trainer inside, because whatever energy you put into the turbo trainer cycling, your body will produce 3 times that as waste heat energy. So if I cycle at 200 watts, I'll be putting out 600 watts as heat energy. But on top of that, the 200 watts that I'm putting in as cycling energy will also be produced as heat energy through the turbo trainer. As it generates resistance, this will just be wasted as heat. So if I cycle at 200 watts, I should be producing 800 watts of energy into the room, which is about similar to one of those small oil radiators that you'll have. I'll cycle for about an hour and a half at 200 watts, measure the energy before and after and outside the room just to see if there's any other changes, and see how much energy I can put back into the room and if I can raise the temperature. So I've got my bike set up, TV ready to go, thermometer, food, and water. Let's start cycling and see what happens. So, what were the results? We started off with a chilly 10.4 degrees Celsius in the lounge, and over an hour and a half this reached 13.1 degrees, meaning that I raised the temperature 2.6 degrees. On top of that though, while I was cycling the sun went in, the ambient temperature dropped in the hallway from 9.4 degrees to 8 degrees, meaning a loss of 1.4. So I'm going to add the ambient temperature drop to my result, meaning that in total I put enough energy into the room to raise it by 4.1 degrees. I think that's a decent success. So let's see what that is in terms of electric and gas heating. So cycling at 200 watts of power generating 800 watts of heating for the room for 90 minutes means I generated 1.2 kilowatt hours of energy. If we look at the current prices in the UK, which is 34 pence per kilowatt for electricity, the 1.2 kilowatts that I generated means I saved 41 pence of electricity, which isn't a fantastic saving, but overall it would add up to about £12 a month. In terms of gas though, which is only 10 pence a kilowatt, that means I only saved 12 pence, which is even less worth it. But it does mean I got my exercise in as well as the heating the house, so it did kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Lastly, the most interesting point for me is how much energy was created and lost in the room. If we say the room is 4 metres by 3 metres by 2.4 metres high, it gives us around 29 metres cubed of air. The weight of air per metre cubed is 1.2 kilograms, so for 29 metres cubed of air in the room, we have 35 kilograms of air. It takes 1 kilojoule to heat 1 kilogram of air by 1 degree, which is the specific heat capacity of air. So to heat the 35 kilograms of air in the room by 1 degree will take 35 kilojoules. So how many kilojoules of energy did I produce? 800 watts for 90 minutes is 1.2 kilowatt hours. And if we convert that to kilojoules, it's 4,320. But if we look at it, the 4 degrees that I raised the room would only take 134 kilojoules at those calculations. So what's happened? It means that 96% of the energy I produced was lost out of the room in heat loss or draft, which just shows how much energy is lost out of our homes in terms of heating. Just for reference, I have cavity walls without insulation and double glazing windows. So if you're in a less well insulated house, you'd be losing even more of that. Lastly, to think about, if there was no heat loss in the room, my 4,320 kilojoules of energy I produced would have actually been enough to raise the room by 124 degrees, which is pretty crazy. So in summary, you definitely can heat your home by cycling inside. You won't be saving a lot of money and it's a lot of hard work, but it's a great reason to get a bit more exercise done. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe.